Hello, online crew. I'm going to talk about the 10 most common mistakes I see with people doing Facebook Lives today. So, this is not to make anybody wrong or put anybody down. This is just a little bit of a check in to see when you're doing Facebook Lives, are you doing some of these things, or is this an area of improvement maybe for you and your videos? Even those of you that are not doing Facebook Lives regularly, important information to know. So when you do and you get more consistent with them, that you're aware of some of the things and some of the pitfalls that people fall into. So this should be helpful either way, whether you're doing them or whether you're not doing them just yet, but you're thinking about it, to learn sort of what are some of the traps that we fall into with Facebook Live. So I'm hoping that this video will be really helpful for you and just an opportunity for you guys to evaluate what you've done so far and maybe what you can improve in the future. Okay, so that's what we're going to get into today. If we have not met before, my name is Helen Martin and I'm your online crew captain. So I am here of service to our awesome online crew community here, full of entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, network marketers, direct sellers, those in the home-based biz space. And we are here to learn how to leverage social media and use modern social media strategies to build our business online. And one of the most powerful tools that you can use to build a business online and get people to know, like, and trust you, so therefore they want to buy something off you, is through Facebook Live. A lot of you may be aware that I do Facebook Live video challenges for free to help you hone in on this skill, because when you do more of them and you get better at it, then the opportunities are just endless. It opens so many doors for, relationships and connecting with people all around the world and opening doors to build your business truly online. So it's really, really powerful stuff. So let's see who we've got on live here today. How you guys going? Heather is on. Hello, Heather. How are you? Good morning, Patricia. It's morning in Patricia's part of the world and warm as well. We've got Gloria. No emojis today, as in, have you ever had them, Gloria? Maybe some people can't access them. All good. Hi, is it Tanvir? Lovely to see you online. We've got Beth. Hello, great to see you on live. Monica, hello, good to see you. We've got Susan. We've got Elena. Good to see you on live. We've got Tonya. Hi, you great. Thank you for all you do for us. Thank you for your lovely comment. That's awesome. Hello there. We've got Tifu. Well, Jane, how are you? And we've got Mirka. We've got Judy and Bob. How are you? We've got Selena on as well. Hello, Laurie. How you going? No emojis for Gloria. That's all right. Not to worry. I was thinking about that on the way home, that I want to keep doing lives, but I don't know what to talk about. So that's one of the things that I'll get into, is sort of content. But there's a few things that we need to, ensure that we're doing them well. Content is one of those things. So I will mention that in today's live. Hello, Lynn. How are you? Good to see you on. Hi, Roxanne. Good to catch you live. Cold and snowing here. We've got exactly the opposite. Hello, Nan. How are you? Laurie is an awesome live member of our online crew community. So we've got the palm tree for our community. We've got the fish. That's for those of you in my free Facebook group, which some of you may be watching from. I'm broadcasting from my page and my free group, so some of you may be watching from there. The cruise ship is for my online crew leaders in our coaching community. We did the really cool boot camp last week on advanced Facebook advertising strategies. All the replays are in there for you guys to watch. And the anchor means that Laurie is a life member of our coaching community. So she's anchored in. And so you're stuck with me for life, Laurie. How does that feel? And just on that, any of you that would like to join my coaching community, either on a monthly basis or lifetime, like for the training that's in there, there's thousands and thousands of dollars worth of training in there. As soon as you get in there, from branding to content creation to blending, your business and your personal stuff on social media, to bots, to beginner Facebook advertising, advanced Facebook advertising. Like there's just a whole lot of range of training in there. My prices are increasing on the 1st of January. So if you want to get locked in at this year's prices, just click on the link above and you can get locked in, like you're grandfathered in at, the current prices. So when they go up, you're not affected by that. So if that's something that you've been thinking of, or those of you that are in the community would like to upgrade to a live member before it goes up, that's something you might want to look at as well. Also, a couple of quick updates of what's happening in January. My full branding course. So I've got a branding boot camp in my coaching community, which is an introduction to branding, but I have a full branding course that I work with people for a full month. And we have live Zoom calls where we look at your brand and we actually establish your page and we get people to your page and we talk about content and all those kind of things. That's starting on the 13th of January for a full month. So the link to that is above. Those of you in my coaching community, you get a special discount to that. You need to message me for the link if you want that, because that's not available publicly. Okay, and the next video challenge is starting on the 30th of January, but the group is not reopening. I'm not accepting anybody in there at the moment new, so you're just going to sit pending. I'm not approving anybody into the group until 1st of January. You can request to join and you'll all get in on the 1st of January, anybody new. The reason for that is I've got to tidy up the group. I've got to take all the videos out that are in there from this last challenge. Those of you from the video challenge, the past one, and you're in the group, I'm going live in there straight after here, just to give you a bit of update about what's going on. So I'll see you guys from the video challenge over there after this video, just for a couple of updates. Okay, so that's sort of where we're at. So good morning, Lani. How are you? Listening while driving my way to Japan. I'll watch the rest later. Yes, I hope you're not typing while you're driving, just listening. Laurie, whoop, whoop, glad to be hooked to your wagon. Hello, Jay, how are you? Anybody that appears like that, it means you're watching from my free group and you just need to give StreamYard permission for us to see who you are. So it's the very bottom link in the group that has the StreamYard link. You only ever have to do it once. If you can't see the link, it means that you're on my business page and it's all fine because that's public anyway. It's only if you're watching from my group that happens. Elena, it's hard sometimes. Content is my problem too. Yay. I usually talk about my experience as a mum or anything that I think will inspire someone and my struggles and hurts. Yeah, so I'll get into that a little bit and what you really need to think about regarding content, because it is one of the most common mistakes that I see. So we'll get into that. Okay, so I'm just going to run through the list and you can sort of think about them from yourselves or be aware of them. So if you're doing continual Facebook Lives or you're about to start, these are things that you're thinking about as well. The biggest thing, and none of these are necessarily any more important than the other, but the one that I'm going to mention first is something I see the most common, okay? And it really strikes me because when we want to watch somebody on live video, there's a reason that people want to watch you and keep you, you need to keep people there watching you. And one of the things I see, particularly in the challenge, that sometimes peters off a little bit because sometimes the challenge becomes a bit of a chore, or people don't feel like doing their videos for the day, is smiling and energy. It doesn't matter what you're feeling, guys. People don't want to watch somebody that's boring. They just don't. Somebody that's monotone with their voice, boring on live video, somebody knows they need to be doing it, but they're just doing it because they've been told it's a really good thing to do. That shows through. So whether you want to be there or not, you always need to smile. You always need to, like I've spoken about this so many times on here on my business page and particularly in the video challenge, a smile breeds a smile. Like somebody who's happy is, people are drawn to people that are happy. People are not drawn to people that are just ho-hum. So we don't want you to be somebody that you're not, but it doesn't take anything for somebody to smile and have a bit of energy about them. Something that I always suggest in my video challenge is if you're naturally a low energy person, like you're not, you don't have to be hyperactive or anything like that to do live video, but if naturally your energy is a little bit low and you're really nervous of live video, I'll always recommend that people stand up Because when you stand up, you're moving anyway. Your body is moving and you've got more energy. Your diaphragm's open, like you're not crunched, like sitting down. You should never do a Facebook Live slumped back on a couch. It just looks lazy. So just having a little bit of energy about you and constantly smiling. You'll always see me constantly smile through my words. It's not something that I have to think about. It just happens for me. But it wouldn't have started that way. So it's something that you learn to do as you practice doing more Facebook Lives. But your energy on your Facebook Lives is everything. Whether you're just going through the motions and doing lives because you've been told it's a good thing to do, or you actually want to be there and share some material with someone, is two very different things. And I see over and over and over again, people's energy and lack of smile on a video, it's just not enticing to watch. It just really isn't. So just remember, it's not necessarily what you say sometimes, it's how you make people feel. I've said that a number of times here. It's not, people may not even necessarily remember what you say. They'll watch something and go, oh, that's really good. And then a couple of days later, they've forgotten everything you said. But they might remember the video because the energy or, you know, what you said or how you made somebody feel like that they connected with you about something. Like that's what they're going to remember. Okay, so just always keeping up that energy and smiling. The second one, being somebody that you're not. So we don't want to portray that you are, you know, much more successful than you are. You don't want to, you know, over-exaggerate any kind of success in your business when you haven't had that success, or over-exaggerate what your business opportunity is on Facebook Lives because people see through it. You just want to be totally genuine and authentic on your Facebook Lives and not over-exaggerate things or falsely portray that you're somebody that you're not. You just want to be you, genuinely you. Good, bad, ugly, sharing your journey on social media. We just, if you try to make out you're somebody you're not, people will see through it eventually, even if they don't see it straight away. So this is where people say to me, well, I'm not high energy. I don't want to be somebody that I'm not. That's not kind of what I'm meaning here. What I'm meaning here is portraying something that you don't already have. So if the reason why you're on social media is to build a business online and you're saying, yeah, I get leads all the time and, you know, I get income on autopilot and blah, 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 and blah, blah, and that's actually not what you're doing, then don't say it. Just pitch it in a way as what I'm learning is a really good thing to do. Or I read something the other day, or I was having a chat with my mentor the other day and blah, blah, and they taught me this, and this is, I know this is going to make a big difference in my business, so I thought I would share it with you. So it's, please don't get caught up in you needing to be successful to do Facebook Lives, or that mind game that you play with yourself, who's going to listen to me? Because I'm not successful yet, or I haven't achieved it yet, so how can I talk about it? I had all of that in the beginning. I felt like a fraud when I first went live and started talking about social media and building a business online, because I hadn't recruited anybody online yet when I started going live. But all I did was shared what I was learning, and then eventually it started to happen for myself, and I could share that journey as well. So we just want to be really careful in how you position yourself. You want to share what you're learning, learn something, turn around and teach it. Don't come from a place of false, you know, false image, false results. It's not what's genuine. Okay, so just be careful of not being somebody that you're not, okay? And when I say smile and have energy about you, and some people say, well, that's not naturally me, that's just little things like just stand up when you do your lives, walk around a little bit if you need to, but don't let that be distracting. People that walk around a lot can be really distracting as well. So just, it costs nothing to smile. And I'm sure you all know how to smile. You just raise the edge of your lips and you smile. Like everybody knows how to smile. So be that person that people want to listen to. Okay, so that's 1 and 2. Smiling and energy is number 1. 2, don't try to portray somebody that you're not. If you don't have the results yet, don't doubt that you do. Just be real and raw about what you're learning to get to where you want to go. Okay. Third one is I see people get really stressed about, distractions or kids or, maybe somebody comes into the room that wasn't meant to, or the phone rings, or, a child runs into the room. And I've seen people like have their hand on a door and a kid's trying to come in and they're stopping the kid coming in, trying to finish their life. Like, what does that look like to the other people? If you're a parent and you got kids running around, embrace it on your Facebook Lives. Life isn't perfect. Life is far from perfect. And those kind of things just makes you more real. So we don't want to try to have any kind of perfection about us with Facebook Lives. I mix up my words all the time. Some of you will know Sean in our community here has got a dictionary going just for me, for my words, the words that I make up. Occasionally my kids come in and I'll just say, come in and say hello. It's not a distraction. It's just my life. I remember one live not that long ago, I was talking to them about, have you packed your lunch and got a drink and whatever? And it's like, oh, sorry, guys. Just organizing my kids' life while I'm here. Like, it just doesn't matter. You just roll with it. So you don't want to look perfect. You don't need to have the perfect setting. You don't need to strive for perfection. It'll just hold you back and stop you doing it. So we want to let go of the perfection and just roll with whatever's going on. And just if you have a thought, if you haven't got sort of a particular time that you go live, just go live and share what you're thinking. So there's no real place for perfection. And I see a lot of people striving for that or being stressed about it. If something doesn't go according to plan, and you can see it on their face, or shutting the kids out, like holding the door so the kids can't come in. We don't want to show that on live video. Just let the kids in and have a conversation. Say, oh, just be a minute. It's okay. It just makes it a hell of a lot more real, because that's what life is. It's full of distractions, is it not? So we just got to be careful of those kind of things when they happen. There's just no such thing as perfection. People actually don't connect with perfection. People that are really, really wealthy, and have flashy cars and flashy houses, and, they're showing all of that around and they look perfect and, all of that kind of stuff. It's harder for people to actually connect, with that, because it's distant. It's so distant from people. The funny thing is, guys, the more of a mess that you are on live video, the more people will relate to you. The more you stuff up with things and laugh about it, the more people will connect with you. Even getting emotional, crying, stuff like that. I've done that many times. It's never been deliberate. It's just I'll start talking something and then you well up and it's like, oh, it's coming. I can't stop it. And you just got to go with it. So be it. It just makes you more real. Okay, so let perfection go at the door. Lynn, what is the life member price? It's currently $297. It's going up to $349 on the 1st of January. So if you want to upgrade, do it before the 31st of December. Okay, and it's still, even at $349 with thousands of dollars worth of training, and I do a live Zoom call Q&A with you guys every month. Like it's and a new boot camp every month. Like, it's still really, really cheap for what I offer. Laurie, if I'm grumpy or not upbeat before my lives, I go out and take a brisk walk or listen to something funny on YouTube to get me more upbeat. Awesome, because you know what most people do, Laurie? They don't do their live. Somebody said to me yesterday, I said, why, what's the reason you haven't been doing lives? Because I didn't feel like it. I wasn't up to it. And it's like, well, if you really want to make an impact, I'm sure in the video challenge you guys would agree with me. There was days that you don't feel like going live, but you made a commitment to yourself, and to the challenge that you do it. So you did it anyway. There's definitely an element with Facebook Lives that you've just got to do it anyway. If we all gave into, I don't feel like it, then, we just wouldn't do it. Not every day. I mean, I do really enjoy going live. It's just one of my favorite things to do. But there are days where I don't feel like it. But I don't not go, well, I don't feel like it. I'm not up to it. I'm not doing it. It's just my commitment to you guys. you guys. And nothing stops me from doing that. I've come on here with headaches, migraines, no voice. It doesn't matter what's going on. I still come here as my commitment to you guys because my vision is bigger than my excuses. So that's what we've got to remember at the end of the day. And doing something like that, like Laurie could go, well, I don't really feel like it. I'm not going to do it. But getting yourself into a different frame of mind, that's awesome. Lynn, I've been doing some cooking videos and I've noticed that I have more energy standing, or maybe it's just because I'm getting ready to eat. We just naturally have more energy when we stand. So if that's you guys, then stand. Walk around, you can walk around, but don't let the walk around be distracting as to where you are and what you're doing, because people will be more focused on, sort of what you're doing rather than what you're saying. Okay. All right, let's go on. Content. So this is the fourth one, content. So when people say to me, I really don't know what to say, like the challenge is different because I give people content. So they've got a structure and accountability, and it's almost easy for people. Like if you want to start doing Facebook Lives, do it in a challenge scenario because you're given the content basically. Some days you're given a little bit of leeway, but there's still guidelines. So you're giving some topics and things like that. But when you're out there on your own and people say to me, I really don't know what to talk about, the first question that I would say to you guys is, have you got an established brand yet? Because when you know your brand, you shouldn't struggle for content. So when your brand's a little bit fuzzy, wishy-washy, no real structure to it, you're not quite sure what you're talking about, I would really encourage you to explore what you want your brand to be on social media. So to give you an example of that, like with me, my brand, I know what my brand is. I know, like, it's Helen Martin. Helen Martin's my brand. I've got the captain hat thing going on. I'm not saying you need to do something like that. I didn't do that for a long time. Before, I was doing lives for a long time before this sort of came along. But my brand is that I help home-based business owners, bring their business online, and I teach social media skills, attraction marketing, video marketing, whatever. I know exactly what I stand for, who I'm helping, who my target market is, who my perfect customer is, what I want to teach. So there is no ever any question what I can go and research, the gurus that I follow, the articles that I read, the blogs that I get access to. I know if I'm short of content, I know where to look for content because I know what my brand is. So for those of you that are really just honing in on lifestyle, the whole lifestyle thing, I would encourage you to dig deeper. Because doing live videos and establishing a brand is not all about you. And just doing lifestyle and living life and stuff like that, that's making it all about you. So that gets boring for people. You either want to inspire people, educate people, or entertain people, really. So on what kind of topics are you going to do that? And then that should be reflected in your brand on your business page. So you need to dig deeper. If you're worried about content, then you haven't quite nailed down your brand. Because when you know your brand, like I know my brand, now I may not know what I'm going to talk to you guys about next week. Well, it's actually nothing because I'm not going live next week. I forgot to mention that to you. I did mention it, I think, a couple of days ago, but I'm going to take a week off of going live. But when I don't always know what I'm going to talk to you guys about like the week before. That's all part of my planning. Like, what am I going to teach next week? What am I going to share with people next week? So I sit down and research that and work it out. So it's all in your planning, but I know my brand. I'm not going to talk to you guys about gardening tips or making a smoothie or, how to organize your cupboard, like fold your clothes properly or anything like that. That's not my brand. So what's your brand, guys? What do you want to be known for? When you talk about this, that, and this and that and whatever, you may be interesting to listen to. You may have people show up and listen to what you're going to say, but are they ever going to be a customer of yours? They might not ever buy anything off you because they're not in your target market. So you need to get really laser focused. Who am I talking to? Who do I want to attract to me? What do they do? What keeps them awake at night? What problems can I solve for people? And you talk about that. If you talk about this, that, and that, you won't start attracting your target market, because you'll be attracting a little bit of this person and that one, but they're never going to opt into what you have or buy what you have, because they're not reflective of your target market. You need to be laser focused. Who is my perfect customer? Where do they live? What do they do? How old are they? What keeps them awake at night? Those kind of things. What problems are you solving for people when you go on social media? And give them either, inspirational, educational, valuable information on an ongoing basis. Okay? I know this might leave more questions for some of you than answers, but you need to dig deep in this area. If you're one of those people who goes, I have no idea what to talk about on Facebook Lives after a video challenge. I just don't know what to talk about. It's because you just don't know what you stand for yet. What do you stand for? What do you want to be known for? If somebody is at your, so don't take this the wrong way, but if somebody's at your funeral and somebody's reading a eulogy about you, what are they going to say? What kind of person were you? What kind of value do you give to the world? Think higher cause. If you just spruik a lifestyle and talk about yourself and your day and this and whatever, it gets boring for people. And they'll start following somebody else that is giving them value, teaching them things and inspiring them in some way, or entertaining them in some way. All of the above. So they're the kind of things that you need to think about. But it all comes back to, how are you branding yourself on social media? And that's not your company, because that's not your brand. It's their brand. You're given the rights to earn some money off their brand. Make your brand all about you and what you can bring to the world. Because the company that you're in, everybody's offering the same thing, same system, same product, same whatever it is that you do, same. What makes it different? Why should people buy off you versus somebody else in the same business? Because it's you. Because of the valuable information that you are providing to people versus somebody else. So work out what your point of difference is and what value you're going to bring to the world, and stick to it. So when somebody's reading your eulogy at your funeral, it's like they just gave so much to the world and so much information and helped so many people do X, Y, Z, because they're not going to be able to say that if all you do on Facebook Lives is talk about yourself. Okay? I hope that helps in some way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another common thing I see is repetition. You say the same thing over like about 3 or 4 times in the same video, and that usually comes down to nerves. So the only way you can really overcome that is to do more lives, to get better, to just get more confidence. So it's just something to remember, though, when you're brand new to Facebook Lives, you're still learning Facebook Lives, you don't want to say the same thing 3 or 4 times in the same video, like the exact same sentence. So repetition is just something to be wary of. So just make sure that you've got your content sort of worked out. It's all in the planning. If you don't plan for Facebook Lives, you'll end up making a lot of mistakes. You'll repeat what you're going to say. You'll say a lot of ums and ahs. I just did it then. There'll be more mistakes than not if you're not planning out. What is the content you're going to talk about? What are you going to say? And it doesn't mean you have to write it all out. Just have some kind of idea rather than just getting on live and winging it. Some people have the gift to do that, admittingly. It's not me. I've always got notes. I've got my notes of my 10 things here. I've always got I don't go to, I don't write it all out. I just do bullet points. But in case I get off track, which happens, I'll read somebody's comment. It'll put me off track, and then I'll say to you guys, oh, what was I talking about? I can't remember. Or I've got my notes down here to refer to as well. So, you don't have to go to too much effort. You just need to be a little bit organized and have some planning. Planning will make or break you in this business with not only Facebook Lives, but everything you do. If you don't have a plan, and I'll talk about this more before the end of the week, if you don't have a plan to where you're going, you're just going to be here, there, and everywhere. And in 6 months' time, like 3 months' time, 6 months' time, or a year, you're going to be wondering why you're in exactly the same place, because you didn't plan for anything different. Okay? I'll talk more about that tomorrow or the next day. Okay. So repetition. I'm saying another common mistake I see is people get distracted by people jumping on, and then they give their attention to the person that came in late, and you're virtually ignoring the person that have already been, people that have been there earlier. If you're lucky enough to get viewers that are on live, sometimes that takes a while if you're brand new to live video outside a challenge situation. That's again why challenges are good, because you sort of got guaranteed viewers for social proof from word go, rather than just doing it on your own. But what some people tend to do is somebody jumps on and they may even know them. So they might have been on for 5 minutes. And so you've introduced your topic about what you're going to say, and then somebody jumps on. Hi, Shirley. Good. And Shirley says, hi, Helen. Great to see you on live. Hi, Shirley. How are you? Oh, so what we've been talking about is blah, blah. And what I was just mentioning was blah, blah, blah. So the people that have been watching since, a couple of minutes ago are basically mean nothing anymore because somebody jumped on late and you repeat yourself. So just something to be wary of is not to disregard the people that have been on longer because somebody has come on late and you re-explain yourself. Tell them to go back to the beginning of the video. So you don't need to repeat everything you've just said because somebody jumped on late. So it's just a little bit disrespectful to the people that have already been there about, what you've already been talking about, and all your focus is on one person. Okay, so just something I see in lives. The other common thing I see, and it's a really big one on the other side, like for the person watching, there are so many people that will watch live videos that will never comment. They'll never say hello. And I know this on the reverse side, there are people's videos that I watch and I'll constantly go and seek them out and watch them. Like gurus are my people that I learn from. I never, ever comment. Generally because I'm doing it on the fly and I'm doing something else while I'm listening to it, because that's the only time I can do it. But I never, ever comment, and yet they're really valuable in their information to me. So I think of that in my situation, and I have no doubt there are lots of people that watch me that have never, ever said hello, but they still get value from my videos. So, and there are some people that just don't want to be acknowledged. So we must remember that Facebook, like in this context in StreamYard, I know how many people are watching. I don't know who's watching unless you comment. So like Jackie's commented, social media to socialize and make connections. Yeah, build relationships. So I know Jackie's here because he's commented. I can do that. Shannon, how you going, Shannon? Good to see you on live. Wendy, hey, Wendy, caught you live. Just watched the Q&A. I need to change my landing page. Cool. So that's in my coaching community. So Shannon, I'm going to do a live shortly on one of my can openings. Can openings? Is that the right word? Thanks for incentive of the challenge to go live. So I can comment and I can pull up their comments here because they've commented. But when we do it on our phone, Facebook, depending on our connection with the person, can sometimes say to us, Shannon Pennington is watching. Now, Shannon may not want to know that she's watching, want me to know she's watching. So I would never, unless Shannon comments, and I don't know who's watching on StreamYard. I know there's 47 people here, but I don't know who you are unless you comment. So unlike on the phone, StreamYard, if I have a connection with them, they're a Facebook friend of mine as well, it might bring up on my phone that Shannon is watching. So the last thing you want to do, or I would want to do, is go, hi, Shannon, because Facebook told me Shannon is watching. But Shannon may not want me to know that she's watching. So I never, ever call somebody out or acknowledge them unless they put a written comment in the post. So sometimes we can get excited. Facebook tells us Shannon is watching, Wendy is watching, Jackie's watching. Facebook doesn't tell us everybody that's watching. Just, sometimes they tell us somebody's watching. Don't ever call out their name unless there's a comment attached to it. If it's just the word such and such is watching, ignore it. The last person somebody may want is to be called out when they don't even want you to know that they're watching. Okay? So it's a common mistake. I can see it from the reverse side when I'm watching back on somebody's live and they've said on screen, you know, hi, Helen, and I haven't commented. Like, but it must have told them Helen Martin is watching and they've said hello to me. But what if I don't want to be acknowledged? I'll never watch your live again. And that's happened to me where I've jumped on somebody's live and they've said, hi, Helen. And I've shared this story a few times about a guy that I was watching that I didn't want him to know that I was watching. And I have a real, he used me for something. And so I just don't have a lot of respect for him. And so I didn't want him to know I was watching, but it obviously said Helen Martin's watching. And he's gone, hi, Helen. And I jumped off straight away and I've never jumped on a live again. You don't want to risk that with your viewers. If people want to watch in silence, let them watch in silence. It's completely okay. I watch other gurus that I follow in silence. It's okay. You just don't want to call them out if they don't make a comment. Some people, you know, they just don't want to, and that's okay. All right. So I didn't number them. I put like dots. That was pretty silly, Helen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is number 8. Number 8 is lighting. So the common one I see is people that have got a window behind them and we can't see your face. So just be aware, you don't have to have things perfect at all, but you just want to make sure your face is bright enough that people can see you, because it's just a little bit off-putting if people can't see you properly. And remember, like on my phone, I can't speak for your phone, but on my phone, there's a setting in there. This is something I teach in the video challenge. You can change your lighting on the phone. There's bright, you can change the brightness of your Facebook Live from your phone. My phone anyway, I've got an iPhone. So there are, you know, technical tips around that as well. Bigger than lighting though is sound, particularly when you guys are outside. Really good idea to wear the earphones with the microphone, because anything like out in the wind, out in the ocean, things like that, people will switch off really quickly if they can't hear you, more so than they can't see you. If you're a bit dull but they can still hear you, they'll still stay on. But if they can't hear you, they're off straight away. So you just always want to make sure that your sound is clear. You know, Facebook now, it's a little bit different. They generally have the sound off, and it's got something down the bottom saying no sound on, but that doesn't mean there's no sound on that person's end. It means you need to turn the sound on. So I've had a few people comment, no sound, no sound, no sound. I'm like, what's going on? It's because they haven't turned their sound on. It's nothing wrong with my end. So Facebook's changing little tweaks and things all the time. So important to be wary of if somebody says on your video, I can't hear you. Couple of things. Just make sure you click the sound on or go back out and come back in, and then the sound might work. So just, you know, tips for you guys to tell other people if somebody says they can't hear you. Okay. And the last one, and there's a few elements to this last one, concentrating on the wrong things. And I've got a few things to mention. So this is number 10. And this is, there's a few things that come under this heading, concentrating on the wrong things. The big one is worry. Like when it comes to Facebook Lives, one of the biggest mistakes is just not doing them because you're worried, which is your ego. What are they going to think of me? I'm not good enough. I'm not successful. I haven't recruited anyone online yet. You know, all that stuff that runs through your head, it's all ego. And so it stops you from doing lives. So you don't want to concentrate on that. You want to concentrate on what kind of value can you bring to the world? Who can you inspire for that day? What message can you share with somebody on a live that day that's going to either educate, entertain, or inspire somebody for that day? So we don't want to concentrate on us. We want to concentrate on the big wide world that you can impact out there by going live. So please don't concentrate on you. So when people say, I didn't get enough love, I stopped doing my videos because I wasn't getting enough engagement, I'm worried about what people are thinking, I just don't feel I have enough confidence yet, I don't really know what to talk about, all those kind of things, that's all just about you and your ego and all those kind of things. So when it comes to Facebook Lives and being successful from Facebook Lives, it's not about what you get from it. It's all about what you can contribute to other people who are listening to you. So don't focus on you. Focus on everyone else that is potentially going to listen and learn, and you can inspire. So yeah, it's just focusing on the wrong thing there. It's not about you, or don't make it about you, because it'll only hold you back. Think bigger, who you can impact, on a larger scale. What footprint can you put on the world? Those kind of things. That think bigger than just your own ego. So we don't want to concentrate on the ego. Try not to concentrate on the numbers of people that watched your live, or the lack of people that engaged. Like, focusing on that. I mean, yes, we're all striving for interaction and engagement and building relationships and stuff like that, but it takes time. Like somebody said to me yesterday, I wasn't feeling the love, so I just stopped. That's the worst thing you can do. You need to earn people's trust. And to get the engagement and to have people comment and stuff like that, you need to give good, valuable content. And if you do lives and no one's watching, it's not a reason to stop. It's every reason to keep going and improve. What can I do better? What can I say that's going to get more engagement? How can I structure my live maybe differently that I can get more engagement? What can I offer to get more engagement? The last thing you want to do is go backwards. You need to work out how to go forwards. So don't get caught up on what's not happening. Work out what opportunities you've got and what it is that you can do differently to move forward and do it better. So concentrating on what's not happening is really dangerous, because it'll stop you from doing more and more and more. So you've got to work through that, not just stop. Okay, so we don't want to concentrate on what's not happening or the numbers. The numbers gives us an indication of which lives are more popular than others, and that's something you definitely want to evaluate. But you don't want to hone in, whether you're going to continue or not on a number. Okay, does that make sense, guys? Here's a good one. I was watching someone and she said, I'll just wait till some people get on. We waited so long that I left. It is a real bugbear of mine that people do that. Like, if you're in a group and, there's a specific purpose or a training and you're just waiting a few minutes, it's pre-scheduled, people know what time you're starting and you're just waiting for some people to come on, fair enough. But then again, if they're not there on time, it's their bad luck. Why make everyone wait that is on time for the people that aren't on time? It's one of the worst things that you could do. So we definitely don't want to wait for people to get on, because it's totally disrespectful for those that have got on time. So that's a really good point. Now, the last one I'll say with concentrating on the wrong things, all is connected to the whole branding piece and all the rest of it, is doing Facebook Lives is not about who you can get in your business, what you can get from Facebook Lives, that kind of mentality. Doing Facebook Lives is, as I said before, all about what can you contribute, who can you entertain, who can you inspire, those kind of things. Become more valuable through your Facebook Lives. I've said multiple times, you want to earn more money, you want to be more successful in your business online, then become more valuable. So it's not about what you can get from it. I see people do lives and all they're really pitching is like a resource to their business or getting them into something. So it's a very selfish way to approach Facebook Lives. If you become more valuable, you get more fans and followers who trust and, get to know, like, and trust you and the content that you bring to people, the money will come. Money is a byproduct of the value that you bring to the world. So if you focus on the money first, you're coming from the wrong place. And even if you do make some money initially, it'll be short-lived. So just remember that money is a byproduct of the value that you bring to the world. And if your focus is on who you can get as a customer, who you can get into your business from a Facebook Live, like it's all coming from that, selfishness of why you're doing Facebook Lives, you won't last. because that's not what people will continue to watch your Facebook Lives for. And when you continually do that is when people switch off. And people say to me all the time, I'm going live, I'm promoting my business and whatever, and I'm hearing crickets. And I'll go to their page and every single live is talking about the same thing. And it's something that they want to get people into. It's not enriching anybody else's life. It's not sharing anything inspirational. It's coming from a very selfish place of using Facebook Live to get people into their business. If that's your mentality, who can I get and how much money can I make from, maybe doing this Facebook Live, you won't have a long, sustainable, lasting business on social media, through doing lives. It's the wrong angle. Whenever you focus 100% on the money, you're coming from the wrong place. So it's just use Facebook Lives as an opportunity to build relationships, as an opportunity to build know, like, and trust, as an opportunity to share entertainment, inspiration, education, etc. When you stick at it long enough, then the results will come. Okay? Most people are too focused on the short term. It's instant gratification, instant customers, desperate need for money now. And if that's the place you come from, it's going to be hard for you to build a long-term sustainable business online if you turn up on lives saying that same sort of thing over and over again. Okay? Does that make sense? Exactly. Start on time. Don't wait. Yep, that's what we're talking about making people wait. Yes, I agree. Wait. Okay. So do you agree with what I was just saying about concentrating on the wrong things? Is there anything in those 10 tips there, which is really more than 10 because some of them had different elements to it? Does it just give you a good snapshot of some of the things that you could concentrate more on with your Facebook Lives that you just need to be wary of, or just have more of awareness around when you're doing your Facebook Lives of some of the things that people get caught up in that perhaps they shouldn't? Facebook Lives gives you the most amazing opportunity to build a business online. I know it because I'm living it and breathing it. And it's through Facebook Lives that has afforded me the results that I, have today. It's only through Facebook Lives, but don't abuse it. If you abuse it, if you come from the wrong place, if you concentrate on the wrong things, like, ego or self-interest, or being a perfectionist, a lot of those things that I've just talked about, it's going to be hard for you to really capitalize on the opportunity that Facebook Lives gives you. So we just want to come from the right place. Okay. Lani, great tips, Helen. Biggest takeaway for me, do not acknowledge audience unless they comment. Yep, good one. Olive, totally agree. Roxanne, thank you, Helen. The nervousness easily kicks in and it stops me. Thank you for keeping us in line. Totally need to work on it. And don't feel bad about feeling nervous. Don't feel bad about stumbling your words. Don't feel bad about umming and ahhing. It only takes practice. You can only get better at that when you do them more often. So, probably another one, which is not even on this list, is inconsistency. After something like a video challenge, if that's what people have done, people do a live here, there, and everywhere. That's not enough to capture an audience and grow fans and followers. You need to be consistent, whether you feel like it or not. And if somebody just says, I wasn't up to it, but you've got a massive goal to build a business online, it's not good enough. It's just not. You won't get to your goals and dreams if you're not consistent at something like this, because there's no faster way to build know, like, and trust than through Facebook Lives. Okay. Wendy, thank you. Makes so much sense. Love your wisdom. Thank you. Our society wants, and that's the biggest problem, Heather. Everybody wants something now. And I often get people that say to me, I've done Facebook Lives for a few months now, and my business is still the same. It's like, well, how many lives have you actually done? And what are you actually talking about? Like, it's not just going live. It's what you're talking about. It's your branding. There's a whole lot of things that come into the equation there. And this is what we need to look for. Long-term business, not short-term game. We have to parent ourselves after a challenge. And you really do. Like, I'll leave it on that note. I didn't realize I talked for this long. How did I end up talking for that long? You guys really need to shut me up because that's too long for a Facebook Live. People don't have that long to sit and listen to me for a Facebook Live. You really do need to parent yourself after a challenge, because some people just don't do them. They do a challenge, they won't do any lives, and then they jump on the next challenge. So they don't do anything in between. And that's life, but just learn from it. Don't beat yourself up about things that don't go well. Just learn from it and parent yourself, as Laurie said, moving forward as to how you can do things better. And I am going to hone in on this a little bit more, for goals and stuff for 2020. It's really important that you come from the right angle when coming into a new year. So I'm going to hone in this a little bit more before the end of the week, okay? So thank you for joining me. Apologies for talking so long, but hopefully those tips were, helpful for you in some capacity. I am going to go live in the video challenge group now, not for this long by any means, just a bit of a wrap up, what's happening next, what's happening with the group, that, all that kind of stuff. It'll only be about sort of 10 or 15 minutes at the most. So those of you that have got the opportunity to jump in there with me. For the rest of you, I'll see you same time, same place here tomorrow. I'll look forward to seeing you there. Remember, I've only got 2 more lives left for 2019. If I can help myself, I'll probably end up jumping on live anyway. But I'm not going live over Christmas like for that week. So it'll feel a bit strange, but I just want to have a break as well. And I want to give you guys a break because, this is a really busy time of year. So I'll either see you in the video challenge group or I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.